Um, Here we go. All right, kia ora koutou. Hello and welcome everybody. It's such a privilege to be here tonight with Kristen Brown, who is presenting her resource Te Ika a Maui. As many of you know, Mensa over the last year in particular have been working really hard around developing resources and also supporting our fantastic educators who are experts in the field to share their resources with others. So part of that has been working with as a network of expertise. So Mensa is the subject associate expert, and so we have been working alongside different educators to create a variety of resources, and this is one of them that has just been released, which is really focused around ECE in primary. But we also have some other primary resources coming out and also some secondary ones later in the year. So make sure that you stay tuned. But I would like to just open our meeting tonight with a karakia. So I'm just going to start and then I will share with you the translation in case anyone's interested. Ma te whakapono, ma te tumanako, ma te titoro, ma te whakarongo, ma te mahitahi, ma te manawa nui, ma te araha, ka taia e tātou, ti hei mauri ora. And so this translates into by believing and trusting, by having faith and hope, by looking and searching, by listening and hearing, by working and striving together, by patience and perseverance, by all being done with love, we will succeed and claim the right to speak. And I thought this karakia in particular was really appropriate tonight because we do have so much expertise around New Zealand, and it's a real privilege to give a platform to those educators to share their fantastic work. So I'm going to stop talking because you're not here to listen to me, and I'm going to pass over to Kristen Brown, who's going to share with us her resource, Te Ika a Maui.
Kia ora everybody, welcome. I'd like to thank you all for giving up your time this evening to be here for the launch of this resource. I'd like to thank and acknowledge the Ministry of Education and Mensa for making this resource a reality, and also thank you to Jade Brown for giving up her time this evening to host this meeting on Mensa's behalf. I'd also like to welcome Rebecca Utting, who has contributed the wonderful artwork which is part of this resource. It's more comfortable if we know what's happening next. So if I can get this, yes, this is our schedule for the evening. We'll start with welcome and introductions. Do we get the next one? How do I get to the next one? There we go. How I came to write this resource, connections with the story. Who's this resource for? Developing the resource. I'll just talk a little and share with you about the testing stage, the waiata. And finally, at the end of the evening, we'll have a taster of some of the resource. So to start with, who am I? I'm Kristen. I live in Hamilton. I was brought up in a musical family, and I see some of you here. There's lots of singing in my house as a child. I'm a mum of 5. After the birth of my 4th child, a friend of mine knew of my interest in early childhood music, and she asked me to, if I would like to come and do some preschool classes at her preschool. And I stayed there doing 1 class a week for 4 years until 2013. And then I branched out to other centres, and I discovered that there's not only a need, but also a real interest for preschools having a music teacher to visit weekly. So over the years, I've upskilled in many ways. I started with a certificate in early childhood music with the IRMT. I've done ORF Level 1, various mini courses, and more recently I've started my Kadai journey with Cuskally College of Music, and I have done EC1. Always been interested in writing and recording my own music, and my tech-savvy older kids have helped me a lot there. So I was wondering if anyone would like to share who they are. Are you ECE teachers? Are you primary teachers? Whereabouts in the country do you live? Would anyone like to say hi?
Kia ora koutou, kia ora Kristen. Just to say how excited I am to see this resource come to fruition. My name's Megan, and with Jade I serve on the Mensa board, and I've also been part of the Network of Expertise committee, and so it's great to sort of see this resource go from an idea that was presented and now to finally see this in reality. So really looking forward to what you've got to share tonight, Kristen.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to put a face to the name because we haven't met in person. Anyone else like to say hello?
We've just got a message in the chat from Mel. Kia ora, I'm Mel from SNBS Christchurch. I teach year 7 and 8 and responsible for music. It's one of my passions. Welcome, Mel. Great to have you with us.
Hi, Mel.
Hello, I'm Edith. I'm from Auckland at Kristen, and I'm doing Hindi to Year 6 Performing Arts. And I've done Kodai to and off. After doing primary, because of the online option, so I've done EC1, which is quite scary because I'm not a mother. And so I thank you so much for having it developed, because I'm doing Hindi next term. So it would be amazing to have it, hopefully one day to use it maybe next term. Thank you so much. And I'm Edith. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Thank you, Kristen and Jade. Thanks.
I think, Edith, we may have been in the same class with EC1.
Quite a while ago. It
was a little while ago now, and it's been a lot of absorbing for me. I've really enjoyed doing the Kadai classes. Anyway, let's move along. So how I came to write this resource. At the start of 2020, I was very busy. I was teaching 18 preschool classes a week, and along comes lockdown. It affected all of us in lots of different ways. For me, it was the worry, would I have a job at the end of it? What was life going to look like? So I was casting my eyes around for a project to keep me busy, and I thought, well, writing a small mini musical to tell a traditional tale, and I settled on Te Ika a Maui because I remember as a child the impact the story had on me. When I found out the North Island really looks like a fish, it stunned me, and that feeling stayed with me, and I thought that would be just wonderful to bring the story to life for the children. So running parallel to my teaching journey has been my journey into Māoritanga, which has become an essential part of our New Zealand preschool curriculum, Te Wharaki. And as I've developed my lessons, the revival of the Matariki Festival has led me to go on my own journey into Māori culture, which has ultimately led me to develop this resource. I was wondering if anyone here would have a similar connection with the Te Ika a Maui story, if you'd like to say a few words.
This is always the point in workshops where everyone averts eye contact, and it's exactly the same in the classroom with our kids. So absolutely fine if you don't want to share.
That's fine. Thank you for the smile, Edith. So let's move on into who this resource is for. Well, it's for you. It's for preschool and lower primary school teachers. The main point of this resource was to create something that was educational, fun, immersive for the children, but also to make something that is easy and accessible for other teachers, you. so that you can share it with our tamariki. It's not designed to be horribly complicated, and you don't need lots of special equipment. All you need actually is a phone, a Bluetooth speaker, the actual resource naturally, and rako for the children. If you have other instruments, great. I've left you lots of ways to incorporate these. I didn't design this to be a production, although of course it can be this. It's more of a taonga that can be taken into the world of play and become part of that child's world. So I've left room, I've provided suggestions on how to use this resource in the primary classroom, and also there's plenty of extension ideas in there which include a recording of tirama. This resource is not designed for babies or toddlers, but in a mixed centre they're going to be there. And they've been very much part of this when it's performed. Once I'd written and recorded the songs, one of my preschools actually did undertake it as a production. And here are some photos. These are some toddlers, and they sat there. They were being some sea creatures, as you can see. And they took it all in. I'm still actually keep teaching one of these children today. He's now 4. And here's some photos. This little boy here was 3.5, oh, nearly 4. He was still 3 when he was Maui, and he took his role so seriously. There are the brothers in their waka. The little girl in the middle, this was an idea one of the teachers had, that when the sun went down and the waka was in the middle of the ocean, she would be the sun and she would dance and fall asleep. So there's Maui there, some children at the back with their rako keeping time. And there's the whole cast. Some of the more passionate teachers I've worked with have built on this interest between the weekly classes. They found the children are still singing the songs months and months later. One teacher made this beautiful invitation to play. She made these little peg people and she put washi tape around them. Maui's the one with the little pendant. She made the stingray out of felt. And there's the waka. So she left a laptop open with the songs on it. The children could come along, push play and listen to the songs. The Peter Gossage book is there too. So they could turn the pages and they would play with the little people, manipulate them and play reimagining the story for themselves. After a few days, she actually took the laptop away and she found that the children just kept on singing. One other preschool has a big picture of a waka on the fence and as part of their playground, and the children would sit underneath it and they'd sing the paddling song, which is just lovely, lovely feedback. So we're moving on to the waiata. So there are 6 songs. They're written in English and been translated into te reo Māori. They're written to be fun and educational. So research into language acquisition shows us that children need to hear language used in different ways across different settings with different emotions to trigger that part of the brain that will sift out what is sound, what has meaning, what is language. And music is particularly helpful here. You'll remember this, Edith, from EC1. Music is slower than speech. The vowels are drawn out. It's easier for the children to hear them. So the songs use a lot of repetition in the text. Not all of the songs have repetition. They're based around our 5 pillar tones of the pentatonic scale. Not all of them. There's a few semitones snuck their way in there. And they use different tonalities. The songs don't sound the same. They're all different tempos. Some of them are major, some of them are minor. They sound different and they contribute to building that drama in the story. So what I would like to do now is give you a little taste. I've actually got some sticks here. I've brought some for Jade as well. You guys can clap if you want. We don't need to hear it just yet, Jade. We're coming to hear it. So this is the first song. there is a narration that flows along with this. In the production, they had one of the children, it was a Montessori school, so they had a child that was nearly 6 reading the narrative out for this performance. And in the classroom, I would probably just read it out. This first song it incorporates the 4/4 beat. There's 4 beats in every bar. Beat 1 is always the strongest beat, and you can hear on the recording, it's the loudest one. So the children can either just tap the beat, or I actually found you get 30 preschoolers all tapping at once. It can get quite loud. So we've done paddling with our rako to get that canoe moving. So older children, I found you could just ask them to play just on beat 1, but they're going to have to do something with their bodies. So I've asked them to do a circle to keep that slower beat. So I guess I'll put up the music for you to see. If you don't read music, that's fine. You can listen along to the track, follow the words on the music. So there's the music there. And I'll get Jade to push play. And if you'd like to clap along, go for it.
This is the part where I attempt to make this to work. So
do we tap, Jade? Do we tap? It's not going to muck up the audio?
No, we should be okay.
Okay.
No.
But can you all hear it?
We're paddling with Maui.
Oh, all right, we just stop.
Day and all night, wherever he
Can you hear that?
goes.
Oh no, that's sad.
Okay, hold on.
We had a lot of
We're paddling, will he ever stop?
Okay, one moment. We'll try this again.
Can you give us the thumbs up? Maybe if you can hear it, would be great.
We're paddling, I'm ready to drop.
Oh, we're giving you thumbs up for now. Should we go practice?
Good idea. All right, here we go.
We can start going.
We're paddling with Maui. We go all day and all night, wherever he goes. We're paddling, will he ever stop? We're paddling, I'm ready to drop. We're paddling with Maui. We go all day and all night, wherever he goes. We're paddling, will he ever stop? We're paddling, I'm ready to drop.
All right, we just had some issues there with the sound not working. I see. Some people managed to get it to work and some people didn't. Yeah, I'm sorry
Sorry,
about
jumping in here. If everyone goes up to view options on the top of the green box, and make sure that under shared screens it says it's Mensa organization that's ticked. That way you'll hear it. The downside is you won't be able to see Kristen's music notes, but you'll be able to hear the music.
So can you flick backwards and forwards between views?
possibly.
If you flip backwards and forwards between views, it'll cut out the music. So yeah.
Right. So when the music's playing, select that option.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try one more time.
Kariri ona
Oh, this is
tuakan.
Chockerby. This is Chockerby. It's the long one.
We're paddling with Maui. We go all day and all night, wherever he goes. We're paddling, will he ever stop? We're paddling, I'm ready to drop. We're paddling with Maui. We go all day and all night, wherever he goes. We're paddling, will he ever stop? We're paddling, I'm ready to drop.
I hope you all got to hear it. So with that song, you can just use the sticks. As you can probably tell, if you use a C and a G on xylophone or on boom whackers is another option. Really, I've written it so that singing is at the heart of it. It's all about the singing. The instruments are optional extras. As we move through to, oh, now what song is this? Let's go to, well, how do I get the next? Just click and then it will go. There we go. The fifth song. I couldn't remember what number it is. Chapter 5 is chopping. So this is when the fish has been pulled up. The brothers are feeling a little disgruntled because Maui has caught this amazing fish and they think it should be theirs. So this is the song where for older children, there's a lot more options. So I've actually written a couple of ostinatos. The one that you can see on the screen right now, or I hope you can see it, is the easiest one for the younger children to do. And it's simply chop, 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 choppity, choppity, chop. And that just repeats over and over. When you add the second ostinato in, hopefully with a contrasting instrument like a triangle, it's very easy. It's our fish. It's our fish. On the next screen, I'll show you how they come together. And all of this you'll hear on the recording. So the first one goes chop, 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 choppity, choppity, chop. And on the last chop, we have the fish. It's our fish. Should we start it take it from the top, Jade? So here we go. Chop, chop, chop. Choppity, choppity, chop.
Ah,
chop,
fish.
chop, chop, choppity, chop.
Ah, fish.
And so on. So in the resource, it's laid out how many repetitions you get. There's two sections in the song. There's the instrumental that contains the ostinato. So you'll play that, I think, 4 times. I did have it written down, but it's 4 times. You play that 4 times, then you hear a gong, which is the wave striking the side of the fish, and then the singing starts, and there's the singing bit. So what I'd like, this track's quite long because you've got a little bit at the beginning. Maria Kappa had very kindly gave up some time and recorded the Te Reo Māori version. She wrote a little haka to go at the start of this track. So this could be just vocalized, or you could add some movement to it, which you'll hear on the recording. So you'll hear the ostinatos will happen 4 times, singing, ostinatos 2 times, singing, then 3 lots of the ostinato, and then it's the end. Now, Jade, can I ask, can everyone hear me as well as the recording, or is it just the recording?
It should pick it up through this mic.
Okay, so you get those sticks. You're going to be the brothers, and I'll do the main one.
Okay, we'll just share the screen again.
And let's hope it, please give us the thumbs up so we know that you can all hear it.
Wakana Kariri o nā tuakana ka pāte harawene. Kariri o nā tuakana ka pāte harawene. Maui fish, they knows fish out of the ocean blue. His brothers were not happy, they wanted a shit too. Maui fish, they knows fish out of the ocean blue. His brothers were not happy, they wanted a shit too.
Hey, I'm just going to move to the next one. Has anyone got any comments or questions they would like to say about it? I didn't want to just present all the songs because you can get the resource, you can watch the videos. The videos are more in depth on the teaching. I just wanted to give everyone a bit of a taster of what it was like.
So this resource is currently available on the Mensa website. So if you go to mensa.co.nz, you can access the full resource, so it's in a PDF format, and then it also has access to videos and all of the audio tracks as well. What's really exciting about this resource that I love is that it's kind of presented as a booklet. So it has the story that goes along with it, and then also the songs and the sheet music, and then also suggestions with teaching, which is really, really exciting. So I'll share that link after we finish our workshop, so you'll have to go check it out. Yeah, I'll pass back to you, Kristen.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the last song that I just presented, the Te Reo Māori form, obviously the ostinatos are a little bit different. So there's a separate recording, and you'll hear the different ostinatos on that track. And yeah, they're just slightly different. So I thought we'd close tonight with the final song, Te Ika a Maui. You're such a beautiful land. You're part of Aotearoa, your mountains, trees, and sand. I'm going to play you Maria Kappa's version because I actually just love it. I prefer it to the English version. She just made such a wonderful job of those recordings. So Jade has to do her Wizzy thing again.
All right, here we go.
Well, thank you all for being part of this presentation. I hope it's given you a little bit of a taster of what's to come.
We're just going to open up the floor to questions. If you have any questions about the resource, or any questions around teaching or the recording process or creating the resource itself, we'll just open up the floor. Feel free to either unmute yourself or chuck a question in the chat.
Can I just ask, I'm a bit thick and I forgot to swap back to the Mensa option on the sound when you played that last song. Could you play it again?
Sure, I'll do my magic. We have this great setup with 2 screens.
Yeah,
actually, 3 screens.
We're actually sitting next to each other. That doesn't look like it.
Oh, do we have any other questions?
I didn't have a question, but I just wanted to say nice work on all the songs and the production and the tracks. It looks like a really useful resource that I'm sure kids up and down the country will be singing.
I hope so.
Well done.
Thank you.
We do have a question from Mel in the chat. Is the haka included in the resource?
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. What I'm going to show you is I'm just going to quickly share my screen. There it is. So you can see where it is on the Mensa website. So if you go to mensa.co.nz, you come up with this beautiful new homepage. And then in this top banner, you just want to click on resources. And then it's the first resource there, Te Ika a Maui. When you click on that on the website, like I said, it does have the link to the PDF, so you can see everything, which is really exciting. And there's also some more information. If you do have any questions and you're having a bit of a sleepy moment tonight, because if like me, it is near your bedtime, that's totally okay. You can contact Kristen. Do you have your email address on the resource?
I don't think I do, actually.
Oh, do you want to chuck your email address in the chat, and then in case anyone would like any more information about it, or otherwise you can contact us admin@mensa.co.nz.
Is it coming out? I'm typing. Yep, it is. Where's enter, Jade? Okay.
Well, if there's no more questions, I was just going to ask around, I suppose, the age range of this resource, because obviously there's activities that could be adapted to younger children and some that could be adapted to older children. Did you have like a specific age range in mind when you first started creating this resource, or was it more just kind of broadly ECE and primary?
It was mainly ECE. For the resource, I've actually upped some of the activities to include primary, just to make it a little more complex. Like I said, in a mixed centre, the younger children, they sat in, they were part of it. They had maracas, they sang the odd bit. I found that in my preschool, can't wait for Maui the sequel. I found in the preschool classes that it's good to use just your voice, but I've also found that recordings do have a place, because especially when you get instruments out, it helps the children to keep the beat, to keep the time. It provides a bit of background. You can turn it down, or you can turn it a little louder, especially in a performance situation. It just holds everything together.
And I think that's so wonderful about this resource, because obviously a lot of us work in environments where we don't have access to a lot of resources. So it's fantastic that it can be adapted, you know, to use Rako, use sound, use xylophones, but also it can be simple kind of body percussion. And I think, yeah, that will be really useful in so many different contexts. Yeah, so thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And I just want to say a huge thank you to Kristen for all of her mahi and all of the time and energy, and I'm sure tears that she's invested into this resource, and everyone else that's been a part of it. On behalf of Mensa, it's been a really pleasure to bring this resource to fruition and support Kristen in this process. Before you do go, I just have a link that I was told that I have to get you to complete, so please don't make me look bad, which is just a link to, it's kind of like a workshop evaluation, like a Google form where you can just type it out. You can leave it anonymous, but just whether this workshop was helpful, what you'd like more of, what you'd like less of, just so that we can make sure that these workshops are really helpful. And yeah, yeah, that beneficial for everyone. So I've just shared that link into the comments now. Like I said, please do it. Don't make me look bad. And if you've got any other questions, like I said, you can email Kristen or you can email admin@menza.co.nz. So yeah, if there's no other questions, we'll end it there. Thank you everyone for your time, and we look forward to seeing you at our next workshop. A reminder that we also have a conference coming up in October, so there'll be lots of great opportunities there for professional development, and we're also looking for people to present workshops. So if you also have a resource you're working on, or you have a workshop that you'd like to offer for professional development, we'd love to hear from you. All right. Thank you everyone for Maria, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Jen.
Matua.